Hey, recording. Live captions. We'll see how I feel about that. Okay, everybody, welcome to Bloy Meets Who. This is a series running alongside Bloy Meets World podcast. This allows me to interview people from everywhere in the world, get to know them. I am somebody who enjoys meeting people, learning about their worlds, where they come from, and their experiences. I'm a very talkative person, so it can sometimes get me into trouble. However, in the setting of an interview, it makes for a pretty useful talent. So I am going to be interviewing a lady by the name Barbara Bernstein. She is participating in the Staunton Outside Arts event, and I get the opportunity of getting to know her. And when I arrive there, I will be doing a main interview. Thank you to everybody who joined and signed up for these interviews ahead of time. I appreciate your support greatly. I can't wait to come up to Staunton. It's going to be an amazing experience. My journey there started with actually just pulling up and going on a day trip. I just wanted to vlog a little bit, make some content for myself. I was on a trip that was a little not boring, but the area and neighborhood of Verona, which is a little town near Staunton. It's between Staunton and Harrisonburg, and I had the lovely opportunity of just driving down there, seeing what it was about, getting to what's the word? Talk to folks. It's a beautiful little downtown. Myself growing up in Johannesburg, there's not a lot of downtowns in Florida. So, yeah. I'm actually moving this out of the way for like the actual shoot. Oh, cool. Yes, Verona. Um, it's beautiful. A lot of big homesteads and plots of land. Just not much to like do for a city slicker like myself. So I Stanton, walked around, fell in love with the downtown. Obviously, it's beautiful. Met the lovely ladies at Studio Abroad. A relationship was formed. We kept in contact, building on the energy that we'd created when I'd done my first shoot there. That first shoot was very, the word is, hello, hey. Hello, Barbara.
Hey there, how are you?
Hey,
You got this?
I can't hear you yet.
Oh dear.
I don't know why. That's odd.
Hear me. There we go.
Can you hear me?
No.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Sean, can you hear me?
yeah, you. I can't hear you.
You can't. No, that's not possible. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hold on. We'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, Allah. Come on, come on, come on.
Okay. So your audio is coming. Hold on.
Where are we?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? No?
No, why is that not working?
I don't know.
Hold Hold 1 second. Just hold.
Okay. Okay.
I am working to, if you can hear me, I can hear you correctly. There we go.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Beautiful. This is lovely.
Okay, that only took 10 minutes.
What a pleasure, ma'am.
Yes, what a pleasure. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. I'm so glad this is happening.
Very
So glad.
much.
I look forward to an in-person conversation also. So you take charge. Tell me what's happening, what to do.
Right before you joined in, I was just taking a few minutes explaining how I ended up in the situation that I'm in currently, and how amazing of an opportunity it is and has been. I really just beautiful. I kind of stumbled upon Studio Broad and the world there, and from that day and moment, I came back to Florida and literally just started working and working. I have notebooks upon notebooks of notes on design. These designs came from that event. I started making clothing. I fully revived the podcast. I started my production company. Because I was inspired by something that has inspired me from the time I was a child, which is just art and artistic expression. I grew up in media. My mother was a producer. I grew up on the sets of reality shows, Big Brother, to like soap operas that were made locally. And it almost dwelled in my subconscious to the point where when I'd realized, I need to make a change, the current career path I'm on isn't working quite right. Maybe I should kind of dig deep and find something that really fulfills me. And in the journey and process that started right before I went to Staunton and is kind of coming to fruition now. I'm a podcast production company, everything. And I get to come full circle and bring that story back and capture the magic that is in Staunton. Yeah, and then do it again next year, even bigger and badder and better. Because I'll have a year to plan. Imagine what I did on like a couple of months. Imagine if I have a year to plan and sit down and hustle. Yo, yeah.
Hello.
So please, Miss Barbara, please tell me about yourself. Introduce yourself.
I'm delighted to meet you. That's the most important part of my introduction.
Thank you.
Let's see. A short version. I was born in New York. My husband and I moved to Staunton about 2.5 years ago. Oh, I'm getting this fancy light. Ooh la la. Or is that for you, Sean?
Yes. New York, moved to Staunton.
Well, there's a big gap in between there. Born in New York, went to, I guess art has been a part of my life, my whole life. I was fortunate to go to a museum school on Saturdays from the age of 8 until I was 15.
Wow.
And then I went to a college, Rhode Island School of Design, and for undergraduate work. And then I lived in Europe and Scandinavia for quite a long time. Came back and forth to the States, but art has been making art and being in art and with art and artists has been my bloodstream. I've been teaching for a very, 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 very long time, and but when COVID hit, my position at the University of Virginia was shut. So I haven't been able to teach in a formal setting since then, but I've been doing some online teaching. Drawing is my modus operandi. It's the connection between the hand and the eye and the heart. That's drawing for me. In the Staunton area, currently, last year, I was asked to do drawings on a storefront windows. That's now a permanent installation. And I was also asked to do 2 wall drawings at the Mary Baldwin College, and that's permanent. Those wall drawings are, one is 13 feet high by 12 feet wide. The other wall drawing is 9 feet by a good maybe 8.5 feet. And then currently at the Augusta Art Center, I have an installation that is all drawing. It's a room that is made nothing but drawings. There's my life.
I am currently pulling up does it have a name?
At the Augusta Art Center?
At the Mary Baldwin.
If you look at Mary Baldwin's Facebook page, if you put in my name, you might see the wall drawings.
Okay, murals. I see wall drawings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those should be mine. I don't know if there's any other wall drawings.
That is amazing. I am impressed. I have never been one who is strong with my fingers. But because I loved animation and drawn art, and like anime is my favorite style, I would always try and sit down and draw the characters. And sometimes it came out okay. But I recognized it wasn't mine, and still when I was forming my project and my organization, I really, at my heart's core, I knew this is the bleeding heart community member. I was like, I just want to make a platform that allows other people to like showcase their stuff, really, truly.
Wonderful.
And I will make sure that the platform will take care of me and my exploits and me expressing things that I want to express, but traveling around and finding like small, real community events. When I asked Miss Tracy Weil, shout out to Tracy, hey, so like what's the organization structure and like how are y'all pulling this all together? And she was like, oh yeah, there's just a few of us. We're mostly teachers and like professors. It's really community thing. This is not like some pro organization. Like, oh, this is real like grassroots.
Yeah.
That in and of itself made me know like, okay, this is something that I really want to get behind, because I don't want to jump onto major trends. I don't want to jump into overly saturated markets. I don't like like um people think that art is developing when it's actually dying, but people will jump into new trends of art spaces that are just like fads. Fads are easy to see. So when I stumbled upon Staunton, I was like, okay, this is a real place. It's in Virginia. There's a lot of real history. One of my major goal, aside from spending a lot of time in studio abroad, spending a lot of time in the green room, spending a lot of time at the Olive Tap Room, is I want to go to Monticello, which is like up the road.
Yeah.
Because while I don't really make like political commentary, but as a South African from certain generation and era, like I have a different connection to a different kind of oppression that has occurred in the world. And while I was born at the end of it, I still am I'm tied to it. But I now live in America. I live in the South. And even in discussing things with my Black friends, I don't lead from the angle of, well, as an African, in my country, we're oppressed, because it just hits different. It's not the same thing. And no matter how many textbooks, I've always been a history buff. No matter how many textbooks you read, no matter how many new bodies of work come out that depict the atrocities on a far like outscaled, level, it is something that I want to be able to see before I start discussing in my content. Like I intend to use my platform as a gateway into learning and how I learn.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. When you go to Monticello, it's quite interesting because it's only in the past few years that they've discussed Sally Hemings. It's really within the last 15 years. Within the last 15 years, because when my husband and I first went there was no discussion of her whatsoever. There was no real discussion or discourse of the Jefferson's slave holdings. That didn't exist. That didn't exist 15 years ago. It did not exist. So it's only in the last 15 years that there's been some sort of consciousness in the Monticello society, whatever it is, to pay attention to that. And I find that absolutely egregious and shameful. They waited so long, Sean, to discuss it.
I think I understand why. And it's because it's easy to say Washington was a slave owner. He's kind of at the top of the food chain. There are about 3 or 4 founding fathers who have this air of Hamilton is one of them, where it's like, oh, he is on record not a slave owning founding father, but also the one of the founding fathers of the financial system, which was built on the backs of slavery. So yes, he didn't do this one thing. However, he is not inextricably linked. With Jefferson, it becomes he was a brilliant, almost like a genius, but there's this air of he couldn't have done something atrocious. He's too much of a scholar, a world mover. He made so many strides towards like a civil society. How dare you taint his image with this? And this the Sally Hemings story is like case in point of like whitewashing in order to like preserve their
Right.
their best characteristics. When if you would just like admit to it, it's not going to make me think of him less based on either his accomplishments or shortfalls. It's part of the story at that time. It's just fact.
Exactly. And it's part of the equation. And I think what I uh, find offensive is that it was ignored purposefully for so long. And that's what I find offensive. I think, cutting off someone's identity in half, essentially. Let us come to our own opinions about who he was, but don't deny this part of who he was. And you might be interested in also going to the University of Virginia, which has a very difficult history also.
Isn't UVA home to the Skull and Crossbones?
No, that's Harvard.
That's Harvard?
Sorry, Yale. Yale is Yale is Skull and Crossbones. That's Yale. But UVA has quite a number of so-called secret societies. However, University of Virginia, students often give tours to incoming or future students and parents. And just recently, the University of Virginia has said that the students are no longer allowed to talk about Jefferson's slavery and slave holdings to prospective students and parents. They're no longer allowed to speak of it.
Oh, isn't that a First Amendment?
Hello.
On a
Hello.
Yeah. Dude.
Hello.
I think this is why artists are important. Is usually, I guess, the trail of either neurodivergence, a almost blatant disregard for obscure rule and structure. I've never met somebody who is artistic in nature, neurodivergent, that doesn't like order, structure, peace. It's always we will create discourse and in the face of something that doesn't make sense. Just to tell a quick story, I was diagnosed with ADHD, received treatments and stuff at 29 years old. To put that into perspective, this happened 6 months ago. So in the confluence of me changing and coming into a new era of my life, I had to do 29 years of backtracking on who I was, who this person, okay, if this medicine makes me more effective, easier to function in this society, who was I outside of it? Because I always felt outside of society.
Yeah.
So even though I probably was not diagnosed because I'm generally high functioning. So the shortfalls got patched by the rest of my personality. So when I sat and thought about it, I was like, oh, I would take walks with my sister and ask her questions that are graded for somebody who's a teenager. Hey, why does this happen? And she'd just be like, I don't want to answer this question. And so she'd just say, no, I'm not going to answer you. And I would get infuriated and hammer in. It doesn't make sense that you don't answer me. If I have the answer to the question, I will and I would out logic her, and then brick wall of just no. And that's when I realized, oh, you don't have change is hard to make because the people who don't want to make change don't have to exert any effort.
There you go. Brilliant.
Just dig their heels in.
Brilliant.
and the issue with that, it can always be a minority.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, is your sister older?
My sister is older than me. She's about 12 years older than me.
And
told
is
me
she also in Florida, or is she in South Africa?
she's in
Or
South
wait,
Africa with my mother.
and as I told you, I have a nephew
Yeah.
and a nephew's wife and two little babies, all in Cape Town. They're
Beautiful.
all in Cape Town. So, and they moved to Cape Town about oh gosh, maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah.
From Paris. So I'm interested in, so am I hearing you correctly that you've just turned 29 recently?
Oh, I turned 30. I turned 30
Okay.
in July.
So are you interested in astrology?
Oh, yes. Oh. Yes.
Okay. So do you know that you're going through a Saturn return?
I haven't kept up on the current phase, but
Hmm.
the last phase, okay, so the Mercury in retrograde thing
Yes.
was properly explained to me at some point, and then I
Yes.
realized, okay, just
And
listen to
there's another one coming up. Mercury retrograde is retrograde on the 26th of November. So, but we can talk about all of that when we.
Yeah. Oh, are you gonna give me a reading? Oh, yes.
No, I'm not going to give. No, I can't give. Well, no, I'm not going to give you a reading. But when you're 29, 30, there's something called a Saturn return. And I'll just say this. So what happens during that time is Saturn, which is a ruler of, sometimes Saturn is depicted as restriction, but it's really should be looked at as structure.
Yeah.
And what's happening now in your life is a restructuring.
Oh, for real, for sure.
And that is the nature of Saturn return. And things will happen that you will see, this doesn't work anymore. And it's not a matter of rejecting it, but more a matter of saying, this is no longer useful to me.
Yeah. I release, there are so many. There are so many things that in this, I was not happy with who I was and the life I was living, to the point where I've also always been very spiritual. I've always been very conscious, and I've always been able to articulate complex feelings. And did you read the article I wrote by any chance?
Not yet. I looked at a whole bunch of other things about you. So I will.
I highlight that, like, I like to be able to use another person's art form to describe a completely other art form using I can't come up with a comparison now, but like I orate. One of my gift has always been speaking.
Yeah.
So I consciously started understanding, like, if this is your gift and you're not speaking, you're going to be powerless to the world. So speak louder in the thing that you want. And then I managed to really found manifestation people, like, who grasp the understanding of using your words to kind of get you into the direction where you're supposed to be. My sister is very important in astrology. She had a textbook like this that we went through together when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, for those years. And so I understood the makeup of my Cancerian star sign and why it's wavy being a Cancerian. It's something for real. But using and aligning all of these things about myself within myself, the history of where I'm from and the nature of where I am today, that vocalizing all of these things over the past 4, 5, 6 months has gotten me here to being in a space where I feel like I am behaving, and returning energy into the world the way it should be.
This is what a great thing, Sean.
Thank you.
Isn't it?
Thank
Isn't it a great thing?
It
It's
is.
a
I feel
wonderful
happy
thing.
every day now.
This is a wonderful thing. It's a gift, and it's a wonderful, wonderful. What a wonderful opportunity for you.
Thank you so much.
It is. It's fantastic. And I'm. Forgive me if I sound maternal, but I'm proud of you
Thank
because
you.
the challenges of confusion in the past are not difficult. I mean, are difficult to overcome. And I'm interested, actually, when you said, think about next year. This is what's so exciting. It's like that's where the Saturn return comes in. It's a restructuring and it's building a new foundation.
Whatever it was, be it the ADHD,
Mm.
I could not plan for the future, and I almost exist. Like this is I managed to draw one through line between an existence of like a young Black teen in an inner city somewhere who has ADHD, doesn't have access to treatment, and could possibly not be able to view themselves making it to 18 to 25.
Exactly.
Because day by day, the structures externally are failing them, and it's hard to say, but like your internal human structures mentally are failing you.
Exactly. Yeah.
I noticed for myself, if I had enough freedom, I could create structures for myself. But if I was entered into another system, it was more difficult. So that young teen, I who come from like a middle class, like I had nothing to worry about. I still couldn't see myself past 25. Got to 25 and it was just, okay, well, what now?
Yeah.
Once the frustration was done, I decided, okay, this is where we're going. Medical intervention that came in, and then the restructuring happened. I was like, there was a reason why you couldn't see it, but what you can see now, you can see now that is the accumulation of a life that you've built without all the structure.
Right.
Now be poured in through and like allow you to make sense of who you are to the world and even to people who have known you for 10 years and have not really understood this person that they love.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And now they can love you in new ways.
Yeah, for sure.
And your heart is open to allow them to love you in new ways.
For real. Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Thank you so much, Barbara.
Oh, I look forward to this. So when do you think are your plans still that you will be able to travel up here?
Yes,
Okay.
I plan on driving through Sunday night and arriving early in the morning on Monday. I will.
Okay.
I'll take a quick nap and come into the city in the afternoon, do a site scout, make sure everything is set up. I'll probably reach out to a few people, maybe meet up at a venue and catch up, discuss, meet. I'll make myself available because I know everybody's busy and around. I'll make myself available so that people can come see me, meet with me. We can, I can actually get in touch in tune with the people who I've come to really enjoy. And then on Tuesday, I'll do. Oh wait, is it Wednesday I do the interviews?
Yes. Tuesday's the 29.
Tuesday's 29 is interviews. Yes.
Yeah, that's interviews, no?
Yeah. Tuesday's interviews, Wednesday's a pop-up shop, Thursday is my kind of off day, free roaming day. I will be trying my hardest to come and spend as much time and shoot content with as many of the other showcases, venues. Friday, we have a special event in store. We're going to do live panels. Barbara will be joining us there.
Does that mean me?
Yes, Barbara will be joining us. We will be interviewing community members and just really showcasing what Staunton Outside Arts brought this year, what it means to everybody there, having a way for everybody to like express in one place what this event has done for everybody, and it will allow me to double down on I wanted to do some crazy stuff this year. I was gonna go get like $100,000 sponsors, have like a runway in the middle of the street, hire models. It was gonna be some wild. I was really being creative, but I want to do that next year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And also things that you can't even imagine yet are going to come to fruition.
Yeah.
You just keep your heart open, keep your heart open, keep your heart open. That's just stay open, and you have no idea the benefits that will come to you.
This has meant so much to me.
And to me, I look forward to it very much so. I also want to give a shout out to Tracy. Tracy is phenomenal.
Yes, she is.
And Tracy, I don't know, maybe this is not for public consumption, so sort of Tracy is the one that brought Staunton Outside Arts back to life this year. She is the individual who lit the fire to bring it back this year. Because believe me, after last year, which was like this, the first year that my husband and I had ever participated, it was this bang up year, and then all of a sudden there was no energy. And Tracy was the one who gave blasted text messages out to everybody going, what are we going to do this year? And who's in? She is the one that did it. She is the center of the universe.
No, I honestly, I think that is important. So you made me feel really good. You really made me feel good. And I don't think that should be, when you mentioned it, I don't think that should be taken out. I think
the only reason is that I'm sure there's going to be a couple of people that are offended that might hear that.
Well,
but you can just say it's my opinion.
As an outsider, they should try harder next year.
Hello. Hello. No, and really, I bow down to her. I really do.
I don't even know she's been taking care of me. She hasn't really, I think she's understood how much pressure there could be for me trying to make this happen. So she's been very generous to me, and I didn't realize she was solo. Oh, I'm.
She's it. There's a couple other people that are, for example, Drea is also part of, the mix, but it was Tracy who got everybody together this year and said, "Are we doing this or not? What is happening?"
Shout out.
Honestly, and at that initial meeting, it was like, we're doing this. We are doing this.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I
look forward to meeting you in person.
I look forward to seeing you too.
Yeah, it'll be
you're
great.
Okay with me publishing this on YouTube, ma'am? I know, but hey, nobody's gonna know about Staunton Outside Arts if I don't.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's fine. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Also, we need to get you some commissions. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Miss-
That would be nice. Hello. Hello. Okay. And from your, as they say in the South, from your mouth to God's ears.
Thank you so much. Miss Barbara Bernstein, thank you for coming into my world. I appreciate it.
You too.
You have a lovely day.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
I'm excited as you.
Yeah.